Before the Turtle King was crowned, before the storm, and before the legends had even begun to take root in the jungle, there was a time of great uncertainty in the land. This was a time when the jungle had no ruler, only chaos, and creatures of all kinds roamed free, vying for dominance in a world that had no order. It all began with a gang of rowdy creatures, known far and wide as the public pigs. They weren't your ordinary pigs, mind you. No, these were pigs with a reputation. They were brash, loud, and always ready to stir up trouble. They were notorious for showing up uninvited to every gathering, crashing parties, and making a mess of things. Their leader, a pig named Wally, was the loudest of them all. Wally had a dream. He wanted to take over the jungle, to make the rules, and to have the power that came with being at the top. But there was one problem. A certain figure stood in the way of the public pig's plans: the downtown cow. The downtown cow was a massive, imposing creature, known for both her strength and intellect. She had come to the jungle from the bustling city to escape the noise and stress of urban life. But the jungle, much like the city, had its own form of hustle, and she quickly found herself in the thick of it. Unlike the public pigs, who loved chaos, the downtown cow preferred order. She'd established a small but dedicated group of followers, each one helping her maintain peace in the jungle. And she wasn't afraid to use her sharp wit to outmaneuver the pigs. One day, Wally and the public pigs hatched a plan to seize control of the jungle, creating a massive disturbance to draw attention to themselves. The pigs began to push the limits, knocking over trees and making ruckus in the central clearing, hoping to draw the attention of all the jungle's creatures. That's when the downtown cow stepped in. With a commanding moo that echoed through the trees, she strode into the clearing, her presence as solid as the rocks around her. The pigs laughed, calling her a city slicker, someone who didn't belong in the wilds of the jungle. But the downtown cow wasn't intimidated. "You think you can just barrel through here and claim it all," she said, her voice calm but filled with authority. "The jungle is not a playground for your antics. If you want power, you must earn it, respect it." Wally scoffed, rallying the pigs with a defiant oink. "Respect? Who needs that when you have chaos on your side?" The two groups squared off, tension thick in the air. The public pigs grunted, ready to charge, while the downtown cow stood firm, her eyes locked on Wally's. But just as the situation was about to escalate, a figure emerged from the shadows: a young turtle, small and humble, with a determined look in his eyes. He had been watching from a distance, quietly observing the clash between order and chaos. His name was yet unknown, but his heart already beat with the pulse of the jungle. With a slow and deliberate step, the turtle approached the two warring factions, his shell gleaming in the sunlight. "This land isn't for your fighting," he said softly, but with conviction. The public pigs and the downtown cow paused, looking at the young turtle with curiosity. "This land belongs to all of us. The real strength lies in unity, not in division." Wally snorted, unimpressed. "And who are you to tell us that?" he sneered. The turtle simply looked back at him, unflinching. "I am the one who will unite the jungle. I will be the one who understands its rhythms and balances. The jungle will not be ruled by chaos, nor will it be ruled by one alone." The downtown cow, intrigued by the turtle's wisdom, stepped forward, giving him a respectful nod. She could see that this turtle had something the others did not vision, and a deep connection to the land. "Perhaps this is the ruler the jungle needs," she said. "I will follow you." The public pigs, however, weren't so easily swayed. Wally huffed and scowled. "We'll see about that," he muttered, but he knew, deep down, that something had shifted in the jungle. The winds had changed. And so, the young turtle, who would eventually become known as the Turtle King, began his journey of uniting the creatures of the jungle. With the downtown cow by his side and the wisdom he had gained from the encounter with the public pigs, he knew the challenges ahead would not be easy. But he also knew that the true power of the jungle came from understanding, respect, and balance, principles he would never abandon. The public pigs, seeing the tide turning, retreated for the time being, licking their wounds but promising to return. The downtown cow, though, stood by the turtle's side, ready to help him establish the peace and order the jungle so desperately needed. Little did they all know, that Storm, the one that would bring the Turtle King lightning, was just around the corner. But the turtle had already set in motion the beginning of a new chapter for the jungle. And with the guidance of the downtown cow, the turtle would one day become the protector of the land, standing tall even in the face of the most fearsome forces of nature. One stormy night, The jungle was alive with an electric energy, the sky crackling with the force of nature. The clouds gathered in swirling formations, casting eerie shadows over the kingdom. It was the kind of night when the legend of the Turtle King and the fabled Turtle King lightning surfaced again. Some said it was a force of nature, an ancient power forged in the dawn of time, capable of striking down even the mightiest beings. Others whispered that it was a sign of the Turtle King's reckoning, a challenge to his rule. No one could ever quite explain it, but every few generations, the storm would come, and the lightning would blaze. The Turtle King, aware of the legends, stood on the highest peak of his kingdom, watching the storm approach with an unshaken calm. The winds howled and the sky darkened, but the Turtle King stood his ground. As the first bolt of lightning arced across the sky, illuminating the jungle in a flash of light, the ground trembled, and the creatures of the jungle cowered. But then, something extraordinary happened. The Turtle King, standing tall, his eyes glowing with an inner light, raised one mighty paw. In that moment, he summoned the power of the ancient turtle guardians, calling upon the forces of the jungle itself to shield him. The bolt of lightning, aimed squarely at him, split in two, its power redirected into the earth beneath his feet. The ground cracked open briefly, releasing a burst of light and energy that lit up the jungle for miles around. The storm raged on, but the Turtle King remained untouched, standing firm like the ancient protector he was. He hadn't been struck by the lightning, nor had it been a sign of his downfall. No, the Turtle King lightning was not a force meant to harm him, but to test his wisdom and strength. And he had passed untouched, resolute, and stronger than ever. The creatures of the jungle watched in awe, knowing the legend had been true, but with a new understanding. The Turtle King was more than a ruler, he was the very heartbeat of the jungle, unshaken even by the most fearsome forces of nature. As the storm finally passed and the jungle returned to its peaceful state, the Turtle King retreated into his kingdom, his royal shell now even more radiant under the moonlight. The lightning, though powerful, had only served to confirm what everyone had already known: the Turtle King was meant to endure, to protect, and to guide. And so, the legend continued, with a new chapter. The Turtle King had survived the Turtle King lightning, not because of his strength alone, but because of his wisdom and his unbreakable connection to the land he ruled. As for the lightning, it became just another reminder that sometimes the greatest power comes not from force, but from understanding the forces around you. The story of the Turtle King had just begun, but the jungle still hummed with the aftermath of the chaos left by the public pigs. The threat was not over. In the months that followed the turtle's rise, the jungle felt different, quieter, but not without tension. The public pigs, though retreating into the shadows, were far from gone. Wally, still stubborn as ever, had rallied his gang again. They had retreated only to regroup, and now they were planning their next move. But as the jungle settled into a delicate peace under the watchful eyes of the downtown cow and the young turtle, the storm was brewing not in the skies, but in the hearts of those who would not yield to the new order. The public pigs were sneaky creatures. They knew the jungle was vast, and their meddling had left a scar, but Wally had a vision. A vision that involved him, not the turtle, as the jungle's ruler. "I told you," Wally grunted one day to his gang, standing beneath a crooked tree on the edge of the jungle. "We can't let some turtle and that cow tell us what to do. It's time we made our mark again. Let's show them what real power is. We'll make the jungle bend to our will, just like before." But the downtown cow, ever watchful, knew it was only a matter of time before Wally tried something again. After all, peace was fragile, and chaos had its way of sneaking in when least expected. The downtown cow was no fool. She'd been observing Wally's every move and heard whispers of his new plan. "Don't worry, little turtle," the downtown cow muttered to herself as she looked out over the jungle. "The storm you faced once may be nothing compared to the storm that's about to come. But I'll stand by you. This jungle is ours to protect." And so, the Turtle King, with the downtown cow at his side, began preparing for whatever was coming, knowing well that peace was a fleeting thing. As the jungle's ruler, the young turtle had learned much since his encounter with the public pigs. Most importantly, that leadership was not just about strength. It was about understanding what the land needed, and that meant uniting all creatures, from the smallest insect to the mightiest beasts. It was on the eve of another storm, one that felt different, heavier, that Wally and his public pigs launched their final attack. "We'll shake this jungle up. It's time for a new reign," Wally shouted, rallying his gang. They came, disrupting the peace once again, stirring up dust, knocking over trees, and setting fire to the calm. This time, their goal was clear: to overthrow the Turtle King and claim the jungle once and for all. The turtle, standing tall in the clearing, gazed calmly at the chaos swirling around him. The public pigs had underestimated him before, and they would again. He had learned from the storm, and this time, he was ready. The downtown cow, with her steady presence, stood beside him, her voice echoing powerfully as she stepped forward. "Wally, your time of chaos is over," she said. "You may have the numbers, but you lack the wisdom and unity this jungle needs." Wally growled. "You think you can stop us? We're the public pigs. We make the rules." But the turtle, unshaken, simply raised a paw toward the sky, as if calling upon the winds themselves. With a deep, resonant voice, he said, "The jungle is not a place for domination, Wally. It is a place for balance. Your chaos has no place here." The wind suddenly shifted, and with it came the storm, a fierce, wild energy that swirled around the turtle. This was the moment, the true test of the Turtle King lightning. As the storm began to crackle through the sky, Wally's gang faltered, caught off guard by the power of nature itself. The jungle trembled, but the turtle stood firm, his shell glowing with an ethereal light. The public pigs tried to charge, but it was as if the earth itself had risen to meet them. The ground beneath their feet split, and lightning illuminated the sky, arcing across the heavens like a visible pulse of the jungle's heartbeat. The storm had returned not to harm the turtle, but to test once more the unity he had forged. The public pigs, terrified by the strength of the jungle's power, faltered. The storm surged and grew stronger, swirling around the creatures with an intensity they had never known. And just as the storm seemed at its peak, the turtle closed his eyes and called out to the very forces of nature that had tested him before. The lightning struck, splitting once again as the turtle's paw remained raised, guiding the storm's energy into the earth. The public pigs retreated, their once brash confidence now shattered. Wally, beaten and humbled, could only watch as the storm passed. When the storm cleared, the jungle stood still. The public pigs had been defeated not by force, but by the unity and understanding the turtle had brought to the land. The jungle had chosen its ruler. And so, the legend of the Turtle King was solidified, a ruler not of force but of wisdom and connection. His strength, true and unbreakable, came not from a mighty shell, but from the peace he had brought to the land. From that day forward, the jungle would never again know the reign of chaos. The Turtle King and the downtown cow stood as the protectors of the land, ensuring that the jungle remained a place of harmony, balance, and respect, always ready for whatever challenges came next. And the public pigs? Well, they wandered off into the shadows once again, licking their wounds, knowing they would never have the power they once saw. After the Turtle King's victory over the storm and the public pigs, the jungle had settled into an uneasy peace. But lurking just beyond the horizon, in the farthest reaches of the jungle, something even more formidable was stirring. It was a legend few dared to speak of, a creature so wild and unpredictable that its name alone was enough to send shivers down the spine of even the bravest creatures in the jungle. It was known as the electric meatball tiger. The tiger wasn't your average predator, no, it had a coat that shimmered with streaks of bright, crackling electricity, its fur glowing like the very storm that had tested the Turtle King. But it wasn't just its electric aura that made it feared. The electric meatball tiger had an insatiable hunger for meatballs, and it could create them from thin air with a snap of its powerful claws. These meatballs weren't ordinary, they were charged with the tiger's electric energy, crackling with an intensity that could obliterate anything in their path. For years, the electric meatball tiger had been a myth, an ancient beast that had disappeared after a legendary battle with a forgotten ruler of the jungle. But now, the jungle was about to learn that legends didn't fade away so easily. One fateful evening, the jungle was once again alive with strange energy. The air was thick with static, and the trees seemed to tremble under an unseen force. The creatures of the jungle sensed it, a presence unlike anything they had ever felt before. It was as if the very ground was vibrating with the power of an approaching storm. And then, it appeared. The electric meatball tiger emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with an eerie, electric light. With a low growl, it charged through the jungle, scattering creatures left and right. It moved with the speed of lightning, its coat crackling with each step. But the most terrifying part? It wasn't hungry for anything but chaos. The jungle had changed since its last appearance. The Turtle King had brought order, but the electric meatball tiger craved the disruption it had once thrived on. It began hurling meatballs into the jungle, each one exploding on impact with a deafening crack, sending shockwaves through the air. Trees splintered, and the once peaceful landscape was thrown into disarray. The Turtle King, aware of the disturbance, knew that this new threat would test his wisdom and strength like never before. He gathered his allies, the downtown cow, who had become his trusted advisor, and the few who had remained loyal after the public pig's retreat. Together, they set out to confront the electric meatball tiger. The downtown cow, ever practical, knew they couldn't approach the tiger head-on without understanding its unpredictable nature. This creature isn't like the pigs. It's chaotic in a way we haven't seen before, she warned. We'll need more than force to stop it. The Turtle King nodded, his shell reflecting the light from the nearby storm clouds. We need to find its core, the source of its power. If we can break its connection to the storm, we can restore balance. The group ventured deeper into the jungle, following the trail of destruction left in the tiger's wake. But as they neared the creature's lair, they realized that brute force wouldn't be enough. The electric meatball tiger had harnessed the very energy of the storm itself, turning the jungle into a battlefield where its power was limitless. It was then that the Turtle King had an idea, a way to use the tiger's own chaotic energy against it. He called upon the Turtle Guardians once again, this time using their power to channel the energy of the jungle's ancient trees, focusing it into a shield of protective energy. As the electric meatball tiger charged toward them, ready to strike, the Turtle King stood his ground. With a mighty roar, the tiger launched a barrage of meatballs, each one crackling with electricity. But the Turtle King's shield absorbed the blows, redirecting the energy back toward the tiger. The jungle trembled as the battle raged, each clash of energy sending shockwaves through the land. At the height of the storm, the Turtle King focused all his energy, calling upon the very heart of the jungle. This jungle is not a place for chaos, he said, his voice strong. It thrives on balance, and it will not be ruled by chaos alone. In a final, blinding flash, the Turtle King redirected the electric energy of the tiger back into the storm, where it was absorbed by the natural forces. The electric meatball tiger, its energy drained, let out a final, frustrated growl before it disappeared into the jungle, its body flickering with fading electric sparks. The jungle fell silent, the storm dissipating as quickly as it had come. The creatures of the jungle emerged from their hiding places, looking to the Turtle King for guidance. The electric meatball tiger had been defeated, but the jungle had once again been tested, this time, not by the storm itself, but by the chaotic force that lurked within. The downtown cow looked at the Turtle King with respect. "You've done it again," she said. "The jungle will remember this." The Turtle King, weary but resolute, nodded. The jungle is always changing, but its heart remains constant. As long as we protect that, we will endure. And so, the jungle was restored to peace, though the legend of the electric meatball tiger would live on as a reminder that even the most unpredictable forces could be tamed by wisdom and unity. But who could say for how long? The jungle was vast, and its mysteries were endless. And so, the next chapter of the Turtle King's reign began, one where the jungle was at peace, but always on the verge of the next great adventure.